Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leake.
No branding issues. You do whatever you want. You can drink that beer.
This episode brought to you
by heroin.
That's every other one.
Yeah. Heroin, no one's ever asked me to do heroin.
I feel left out.
Yeah, I mean, you get asked about all the other drugs and that, but heroin seems like it's not like a communal thing. You get yours. And we don't need to start the interview this way, but I'm glad we did. Yeah,
it feels natural. Yeah, it's not like I want to do it, but I just want to be invited to a club in case I did ever decide to, which I don't think I would.
But then you could also do referrals too. For anybody else, hey, do you got a guy? I got a club.
Yeah, I'm part of it. I got a tattoo.
Hey, Tyler Rich.
Too far.
I noticed that you're back in Canada and you've been in town now for a few days. Managed to do, I think it's your first ever headliner in Canada just on a Friday night. Like you basically walked off a plane and onto a stage.
Yeah, and it was a lot closer in timing than we thought it was going to be. We landed and then, pretty much drove straight to Loden in Oshawa. Played at the Biltmore. Straight to Loden, sound check, went got food, and then played like right away.
Isn't it great when you're an artist and you can actually figure out how to do that and it's not a panic anymore?
I do panic a lot, but that's just because I'm always stressed and have OCD about time and stuff. But yeah.
You don't panic a lot.
No, I'm kidding.
You're chill.
I'm kidding. But yeah, I got to think like back in my earlier days playing music and stuff, I would be like, we got to go in the night before because we got to be by the venue at least 4 hours before we have to load in so we know we're not going to be late, all those things. And now I'm like, oh, we're going to get there with like 3 minutes to spare. That's cool. They're not even going to be ready on stage at load in time for probably 30 minutes after we're supposed to be there. They're always late. We're good. Let's go.
I like that you figured out how to just still be on time and know that you have the flexibility because everything changes so fast and the people who are inflexible, you get screwed with. And it's a you on you crime.
100%. Yeah. I'm just easy going, man. I'm like, if I would have got there after we rushed to get there and they're like, oh, hey, actually, we're switching this around. We're going to just have you sound check last in like 2.5 hours. I would have been like, all right, cool. What are we going to go do? Some artists are like, what the hell? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
it's the no-cal in you.
It is. 100%.
You grew up in a small town, right?
Yeah.
But just outside of, like what? Are you like an hour outside of Sacramento?
Yeah, like 45 minutes. Yeah, 50 minutes. It's called Yuba City.
Yuba?
Yuba.
And what's Yuba City known for? Like, is there a college?
No. I mean, there is a Yuba College. It's a community college that's in Yuba County, but that's like 20 minutes away.
Is that where you got your economics degree?
No, Sacramento State. I got my business admin associates at Yuba College and then decided to pick a way harder program to get my bachelor's at the university for whatever reason it was.
Well, but back to what is it in Yuba City that is?
Oh, just farming. Literally. That's it. Yeah.
You didn't grow up on the farm though.
No, but that's like the main economy is farming in our area. Yeah. Rice, peaches, tomatoes, olives. I never did any of that work. I just worked at Red Robin.
Oh no. How did you manage to stay off the farm? Because those are some good jobs.
I know. I think because I started playing music in high school, and then as soon as I graduated, I joined a band that had just kind of like started things. I was 18, got a record deal.
I'm guessing a punk rock band.
Yeah. We did, like Warped Tour scene, like all that stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it was.
I could have done some research, but we'll just,
I don't really talk about it super often because nobody ever asks. So I feel like
you did the full Warped Tour as a punk band, 18, 20 years old?
Not the full Warped Tour. I was just saying full Warped Tour scene. Like we did a couple Warped Tour dates and stuff. But we got signed to Rise Records. I was 18, 19. And then.
Was it the best deal ever?
It actually was at the time because Craig from Rise had just merged with Tony from Victory for distribution. So we got the Victory distribution, but we only had to deal with Craig from Rise Records, who was awesome and nice and cool.
And Victory was huge.
Massive. Yeah.
Like big artists, big distro, and big in the punk scene.
And I was a child. And then all of a sudden, because of that deal, I think we might have been the first band once the merger happened that they signed. And then, I was right out of high school and a CD in every FYE and Best Buy in America and toured and did all that stuff forever. But I needed a job that didn't have me on the farm for 10 hours a day. And Red Robin, shout out. What's up, Red Robin? They were the best. They would let me work when I was in town. I'd leave for 4 months. I'd come back. My shifts would be there.
And what were coworkers at Red Robin when you came back? You were like, oh, really? You played in Denver? Big deal. Check out this new platter special we've got.
They'd be like,
whatever rock star hero. You want pickles with that?
Oh, you got your apron? You got your cool little book? You ever seen a laminate?
Yeah, what'd you do at Red Robin? Like, did you do all the jobs or was it?
Yeah, I started in high school as a busser, and then I became a server, and then I started training servers. Then I became a bartender, and then I started training bartenders.
So that makes sense that you're a bartender and a server. You got the personality, got that swagger
Make
to
those
you.
tips, man. Just got to do it.
I worked at Wendy's for 2 shifts, and I kept the uniform.
I thought you were going to say 2 years.
No.
You didn't even say 2 months or days. 2 shifts.
2 shifts.
I guess that's days. Yeah.
It might have been like a Thursday and a Friday, and I was out, and it was because there was this dude who was the manager at the time, and he might have been like 6'3", 300 and something pounds, and he just came over to me, and he's just dripping sweat because you're in the kitchen, and those fast food places, they get warm and that. And he just said, do you see all those people in line there? They all want fries. And you don't have any fries down. And I was just like, oh.
So
I'm like, this is not where I want to be. Yeah. Straight to Pizza Hut.
Also, Wendy's doesn't compare to Red Robin. I worked at Papa Murphy's. You guys have that Papa Murphy's here?
No. But I get why Wendy's doesn't compare because they don't have a bar.
Yeah, or bottomless fries.
I didn't know that.
Or like really shitty birthday songs that make you sing to people.
I want to hear one. Can you play?
Happy birthday on this special day. Happy birthday. Yeah.
Have you played that on stage for anybody?
No.
Have you ever? Tyler, it's my birthday. Sing me a song.
I'm like,
3, 4.
Happy. Oh my God. Yeah. It was cool though. Yeah, it was awesome.
Were you taking like lots of bank home though? Like being a bartender, like with a personality like yours?
Yeah, thank you. As much as you could in my small town. I mean, we weren't necessarily super busy or anything, but small towns also don't really have super high rent prices or anything either. So it's all relative. It all worked out.
Well, good that you got out because a lot of people get into those jobs and they can't get out because they get so used to the tip. They get like they're like that cash life. You're off the grid money.
Yeah, and the surprise is really cool. Well, the surprise one way is really cool. Like you don't really know how much you're gonna make, then you make a ton of money one night, and you're like, oh my God, I got the best job in the world. And then the surprise the other way, where all of a sudden you go in and you really need money, and then you don't make it like anything, and you're like, I got to get an hourly job that pays me what I know I'm gonna make. But no, yeah, it was cool, and I did like, I graduated high school in 2004, and so when I did community college to get my business admin, it was, the internet had only been around for like 4 years, and Yuba College and a bunch of other community colleges in California started offering online classes. Like a university would offer like 5 total, right? And so I would just scour all of California's community college courses available from each college and then apply and just have this class from this semester, this class for that semester, this class for that semester.
While you were touring.
And have like 5 different colleges, 5 different colleges, 5 different courses to hit like my curriculum. I just had to have a certain amount, obviously, from the one I graduated from. And on tour, there was times where I flip phone, plugged into my computer to get 3G or maybe it was 1G back then.
Right.
I remember doing we were in Phoenix and we did a final and I literally was holding my computer, walking to the stage, answering my last question of the final with my tour manager holding it, walking backwards like, put your fucking guitar on, put your fucking guitar on. Right. And I was just like, and then I got a B.
How did you convince your parents that you were going to be able to do this? Like, I will go out on the road, be in a rock band, and I will do my community college. That is like, it sounds on paper like the biggest lie ever.
It was.
It was a ruse.
But I did it. And my dad was a teacher. And so education's, it was important to me, but education was very important to my dad for obvious reasons. But no, my family was always so supportive. Like my grandparents on both sides, one grandma bought my band a van. The other grandma just, as supportive as you could ever possibly be in every work of this or every walk I've had in this crazy industry career. And my thing was to my mom or my parents, my grandparents, because they like my other grandparents. She would pay my car payment the months I was gone because we weren't really making money. You know, we were like finding fans to crash at their house that night, and my only bill at the time was my car payment. Like, pay your car payment, all these things, blah blah. You just have to promise that if it doesn't work out, that you will go back to school. And so I promised, but then I one-upped by doing the online classes at the same time. And then when that band broke up, started another band. That band got a deal, and then we toured for like a year and a half. That band broke up, and I was like, I don't think I want to be in bands anymore. I was like, we keep breaking up before all the cool shit's about to start happening.
And that's because you graduated with economics, right?
Not yet. So that's when I was like, all right, I'm not going to be in a band. I'm going back to school. And so that's when I went to Sacramento State, did the econ degree. And then, but my promise to them was to do that. But my promise to myself was that once I graduate, I'm going to give music one more shot, no matter what. And yeah, that's where this started.
And then so that's, you go back, you get your degree. I'm guessing this is now 2009, around there. And then you're deciding, okay, I'm going to go for a real shot at this. And you moved to Nashville?
So I moved. So there are some gaps in that timeline because
I'm not the FBI.
After the lighting,
the story doesn't match.
This lighting feels like you're about to get up and grab one of these and pull it down to my head and be like, "Where were you in 2009?"
This doesn't make sense that you could have been in these places both at the same time.
There was some off time between the two bands, and then there was off time before I went back to school, where I lived in LA a lot during my 20s, and then went back to NorCal, went to school, graduated, moved back to LA. And then I was in LA for like a year and a half or 2 years that time when I started this project. And then I released one song. I don't even think Spotify maybe just came out.
Right.
It was on Reverb Nation. And I printed out.
And your MySpace page?
Back to dates again. Was MySpace still around then? It had to be, I think, right?
Sure. I
hope it was. I wish it was still here now.
I'm just pulling out random references.
You would be in my top 8.
Yeah.
Already.
Right behind Tom.
Yeah, dude. He always stole that spot. I don't think he deserved it.
Yeah, so you're like one of 2 people in California who decide to go with country music.
There's, I think, 4 of us.
Yeah. You, John Pardi.
Yeah. Gary Allen.
Yeah.
Brett Young. Cam.
She's great. I love her.
Oh, she's incredible. Yeah.
But so that must have
Dwight Yoakam.
That must have blown people away. That, oh yeah, I'm doing a country.
I will say my friends, because I grew up listening to country music. My mom listened to country music 24/7. My dad listened to rock and metal. I started playing guitar because my Uncle Tim, any family functions, birthdays, whatever it was, Christmas, Uncle Tim would show up with him and like 5 college friends and all their acoustics and just sit for hours and play music. And so that was why I even wanted to get a guitar. I just wanted to play music with my uncle. And he was teaching me stuff like CCR and the Beatles and Michael Jackson and Garth Brooks and anything if it was just good music. John Denver, like Tom Petty, anything in that realm. And so I feel like very blessed, very lucky to grow up with my mom listening to country 24/7, my dad listening to rock and metal, and then my uncle introducing me to everything in between, almost in a sense. And then I was, growing up so close to San Francisco, I loved Bay Area hip hop. And now, all these years later, I feel like a lot of those different things poke their head into my music, which is cool.
Well, and people everyone consumes it differently today than they did in 2000. The digital service providers have given everyone every single song ever written.
Yep.
And it's a great thing for a young artist. Now you have a spot where you can put your stuff.
Totally.
And you can get your reach. So you get into Nashville and things start cooking for you. Are you like going into like writing rooms right away? Were you fully committed to that? Or were you kind of like, I'm just going to go play on Lower Broadway and all the stars will align? Which I think 90% of the people that go to Nashville say.
At least 99, I think. There's nothing wrong with playing on Broadway. It's an amazing stepping stone and it actually pays people a lot of money.
And the talent is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, every bar, every floor, everywhere you walk is people better than people you hear on the radio.
Absolutely.
And it's just...
starting at 10 a.m.
Starting at 10 a.m. That's the best time to go, honestly. It's chill, listen to good music, hang out. But I am very fortunate. I've never had to play the Broadway grind. I was moonlighting and doing it somewhere else. When I moved to Nashville, I got an email that was like, hey man, I know you live in LA, entertainment capital, blah, 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 but you can't do what you think you're going to do there. You need to be in Nashville. And I was like, oh, I've never been. Like, I want to go. And if you ever come out here, give us a call. Come see us at the office. And it was a management company that I ended up going to visit and signing with. But at the time I was in Vegas, up in Napa Valley, Northern California, doing casino lounges in casinos where I would sit there and play 4 hours straight acoustic in a lounge, background music kind of stuff.
Yeah.
4 to 5 nights straight.
Awesome.
And then I would go back to Nashville for 2 weeks, write songs, go back out, work for 5 days, go back to Nashville, go back home, write songs for a couple weeks, go back out for 5 days. Like every 2 or 3 weeks, I'd go do 5 shows. And then just all I did was write 1 to 2, sometimes 3 songs a day, different writing rooms. I just immersed myself as fast as I possibly could in the culture. But I met John Pardi the first week I was there, and he grew up, 40 minutes from my hometown. And I saw him. It was like this crazy serendipitous moment where I met this girl at a bar, and she was like, oh, you're here exploring, blah, blah. I've been here for a long time. If there's anybody you want to meet, let me know. I could probably introduce you to him, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you know John Pardi? And I think he had 1 song out at the time. She was like, why do you want to meet John Pardi? I was like, oh, well, because we grew up like right next to each other, and I think we're the same age. I think we'd get along. And then she's like, no, I can introduce you to Dierks Bentley, Brantley Gilbert, all these things. I was like, no, that would be cool, but I want to meet John Pardi. And 3 hours later, I was at a bar downtown, and I realized I left my ID as I was trying to get into this one at Tootsie's. I left it at Rippy's right across the street.
Yeah.
And it was midday, and they were closing the roof down, and they let me go up there to see if my ID was there. They were like doing a shift change, whatever. And the same bartender, she's like, oh yeah, baby, I got your ID. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, I know that bartender.
And, yeah. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I look over, and there's one guy in the bar sitting there because his girlfriend's closing up, and it's John Pardi. And I was like, John, what's up, dude? He's like, what up, man? I was like, I'm Tyler. I'm from Yuba City. He's like, what the hell are you doing here? Told him, and he's like, you're alone? I was like, yeah, this is my first day. I'm here for like 3 days. He's like, you're not alone. And Larry's like, going out to dinner with like 2 of my best friends. Come with me. And I just hung out with him for like 4 days straight. And
that's awesome.
Taught me everything about the town, what to do, what not to do, what bars you can stay till close, what bars don't stay till close because then you're just one of them. This, that. He said, say yes to every person that asks to write with you. He's like, I don't care if you're at Cookout, standing in line for fast food, and the guy there is talking about something with music, and he goes, hey, you ever want to write? And he's handing you your burger. You say, fuck yes. And he's like, you will write really great songs with shitty songwriters, and you'll write terrible songs with hit songwriters. Just keep doing it. You'll eventually find your people. Write as much as you can, pick your best songs, and then go to a label. And then I was like, yes, sir.
Like, you've been in Nashville for 24 hours, and you learned more in that period than most people even who have been in Nashville for decades even know.
Yeah.
Like, it was an introduction. It sounds like John could just put on some sort of clinic. Yeah, come to the Camp John Pardi. Here's what you're going to do. Meet me at the bar at Rippy's at 3 p.m. in the afternoon on the rooftop. From there, we will go for dinner. And after that, you should have a record deal after 300 songs that have been written, some of which were good.
Yeah. Most of which are not. Basically, yeah. You're going to write one really good song that people would actually want to listen to, 1 out of every 15 or 20.
Doesn't that piss you off when you put so much effort into writing a song and you're like, man, we're close. And then you listen to it back later and you're like, no, what was I thinking? It just doesn't work. It's weird.
I feel like it's any form of art, right? Like you're emotionally invested in what you're doing. As soon as you're done with it, it's a hit no matter what in your minds, whether that's a painting or a song. And then, you listen back the next day and you're like, no, why were we excited yesterday? I want to skip halfway through and it's my song. But there's a lot of ego that comes into that too. And even if the songs weren't that great, it took me a little while to get used to that because when I lived in California, like in LA, the writing process there is so different. It's like I had circles and really successful people in those circles that I just started working with. And it was all just, the songwriting sessions were just all very natural. It was like, what's up, dude? It's like 10 o'clock at night. What's up, man? Hey, sends me a voice note. You mess with this? You like this? Yeah, I think that's cool. All right, sick. Well, I'm going to the studio right now. I'll be there at like 11. You want to come and work? Yeah, sick. Go home 4 a.m. with a new song. Whereas in Nashville, it's so hard to get used to. The writing sessions start at like 10:30 or 11 a.m.
I was going to say 9.
Yeah. No. I would have never done it.
You're just getting off shift at Red Robin.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still closing the bar from the night before. And you end up, you usually spend the first hour just getting to know each other because a lot of times it's people you don't know yet. And then you write for 3 or 4 hours and then everybody has to go pick up their kids from like baseball and stuff. And it's 4:00 and you go home with either a song or you don't. And if you don't have a song, everybody goes, I mean, this feels special, man. We got to get back together. We got to finish this. And we're like, yeah, well, let's do it. I think I would say, 30% of the songwriting sessions end up with a half song. 100% of them, everybody's extremely excited. We got to get back together. I would say I've done that 5% of the time. I actually got back together to finish a song. Because if it's not done, there's a reason.
That's like in a business meeting when they say, let's take this offline. That means let's never speak of this again.
Oh, yeah. I have so many offline songs downloaded on Napster.
I've heard of artists that will have those songs that they couldn't figure out, couldn't finish, and then it frustrates them because they keep bringing it back and they won't just let it die.
Yeah.
And they'll spend hours and hours, days trying to finish that stuff off. So you have to learn how to kill it.
And it's really, really hard because it also makes you feel, I don't know, it makes you feel like inferior, right? Like Why can I not finish this song? It's because we are perfectionists. Any of us can write a song in 5 minutes if we want to, but we want to write that one right, and you obsess over it. And it's like, it's a curse I don't wish on anybody, brother. Yeah. I look at unfinished songs like once a day in my notes. I'm like, where's it supposed to go?
Yeah. Well, imagine being a painter and there's always that one wall that never got done. And every day you go into that room and you're like, damn it. Maybe today's the day. I don't know.
Stare at it. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well,
there'll be like charts all over the wall and they're just half empty. And you're like, I wouldn't live there.
So John Pardi kind of cursed you in a sense by saying, write as much as you can, work with as many people as you can, because last year, I think you released like 3 albums. So now your management and label are like, dude, slow down. Tyler, whoa, pump the brakes, buddy. When's your album coming out in 2026? Or how many?
I'm never releasing another song for the rest of my life.
There's a triple deluxe album.
That sounds like a Wendy's order.
Absolutely. I got the uniform. I could serve it up. I look good in it too.
I bet.
Then I could have turned around inside it without the shirt moving. It was so gigantic. When I filled it out, man, just picked up the babes.
Relatable, man. Relatable. Yeah, 23 songs last year. It came out as 3 different launches, basically, or 3 different drops. I was with my record label for 7 years, and then they had only put out 18 songs in 7 years. And I had all these cool accolades and tours and things happening, and it came out to 2.5 songs a year they were putting out. And so after a lot of conversations and a bunch of stuff, I finally was able to become a free agent. And I decided I'm not, independent artists say this to me all the time. Like people that are like new and independent. Why would I ever want a record deal? I don't want a record deal. Like, look what everybody can do nowadays without a record deal. I was like, oh, Jelly Roll, the anomaly, the outlier of the entire industry. Right. I was like, you can be successful independently, of course. I would have never chose to stay independent, which also I only chose for 1 album. I'm not discounting the idea of album 3, trying to talking to labels again and whatnot. But I wanted personally for myself to finally just fall in love with music again creatively and get to write and release what I wanted to, when I wanted to, and how I wanted it to sound. And I hadn't had that for 7 years, 8 years by the time we actually started putting stuff out.
That sounds like 2 billion streams ago.
So many
streams,
so many days,
so many sounds,
so many tears.
So is there an album for 2026?
So we're doing a lot of cool stuff for 2026.
You've been doing a lot of writing.
Yeah, just kind of started like what this whole thing is going to be. So last year, I do a big charity show in my hometown every year, like right outside Sacramento. It's like in between my hometown Sacramento. We have a big casino, Hard Rock Casino, like big, beautiful venue, and raise money for 5 foundations. We've been doing it for 9 years straight. And last year we did
say that again.
Album. hard rock.
No, raising money for.
5 different foundations.
Yeah. Okay.
9 years. We've raised $500,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
Good for you.
And thank you. I'm like, can I be the 6th foundation for the money coming in? 23 songs was expensive. But we did last year in the summer when we did that show, we did a live album. And so 17 songs, whole thing. It's all done. The video's done. Like, 4 or 5 cameramen, all, professional, all through the board, all that stuff. We just have to get it mixed. That'll be coming out at some point this year.
Awesome.
I'm doing like alt versions of the songs. Some of the songs I put out last year as features. And
Now, when you say alt, do you mean alternate or alternative?
As in like the genre?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Poppy and Iris has been called alt rock country. So we're the alternative. We're already there.
Yeah.
But alternate as features. And so I wanted to patch into my old world a bit of the scene I came from before I was just doing country. I definitely am going to do some country features, but primarily I wanted to focus on outside the box, obscure things that people be like, whoa, that's different. That's crazy.
I like it.
How and why are you doing that? And so Danny Warsnop from Asking Alexandria, he did one of my songs as a duet. Alex from The Cab, Alex DeLeon, is supposed to be doing one. My buddy Maddie Mullins, who's a Memphis Mayfire, and Amber Lynn is doing one.
You must have a Rolodex that's crazy because of all the years and the genres and the stages. Like,
Yeah.
that's a powerful statement for who you are as a person.
Oh, thanks. man.
Because there's a lot of people who are maybe known, but they can also be hated at the exact same time.
Yeah,
So
totally.
you've managed to figure out, let's just be a real good guy, Tyler Rich, and man, it's going to come back. Like, that's the
Thanks,
testament.
man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean it. I just love people. I love good people. And so I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of friends, been all over the place my whole life, and have been fortunate enough to keep in touch with most of them. Maddie and I used to tour together in my band when I was 18, 19. He was in a band when he was 16 in Washington, and we like toured the Pacific Northwest and stuff together a couple times, and reconnected like 4 years ago. He moved to Nashville and reconnected randomly on accident. Saw each other and we're like, we look so different than we did right that long ago. And we hung out for like an hour just thinking, we look really familiar. And then when he went to get my phone number, we were at a metal festival actually in Alabama, Furnace Festival it's called. And we were just hanging out, and then he's like, well, let me get your number, man. I live in Nashville. Let's hang. And then he typed it in and he goes, what is Tyler 10 Falls 4th? Oh, I just said the band name. I said I wasn't going to tell you my band. I was like, how do you have that? It's like 18 years. What? And he's like, and then I went down a rabbit hole, and I was like, Memphis Mayfire was a Texas band, but where are you from? He's like, Spokane. Just went through every band he'd ever been in. And when he got to the band named The Monroe, I was like, bro, this guy was in my band. He looked like this, that. And he goes, 10 Falls. And then and now we've been homies, like super close ever since. It's awesome.
I bet you have like 9 million of those stories where you like,
just randomly.
you've already told 2 of them, like in this, because again, it's
just
the who you are,
serendipitous.
willing to connect, willing to have that conversation. You're a person who, I'm guessing you just got to keep moving.
Yeah.
You got to you're willing to stay that extra hour. You're willing to show up early, willing to stay late and connect and figure things out. And that's why it's paying.
You have to, right? It's like the second you're not staying the hour after, somebody else is. And so somebody told me it was either Dustin Lynch or maybe it was Pardi, just being 6'6" and wise.
And Dustin Lynch, not wise, lunatic.
Yeah.
Wonderful lunatic.
Wonderful, wise lunatic.
I don't know if he's wise or not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's a wonderful lunatic.
Very talented.
Lovely person.
Yeah. He told me, one of them, might have been Dustin. He said, something along the lines of like, just remember the second that you feel discouraged, the second that you feel that you start to doubt yourself, you're already letting somebody step into your place.
Right.
And like I might have forgot who exactly said it to me, but that has lived just rent free in my soul, like since the second I heard it.
Somebody just stepping up saying, I got this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tyler Rich is like, damn it. I would have just given a little bit of effort.
Yeah. You get in like a little funk. Don't work as hard that week. Somebody else is working twice as hard that week. And they're probably going to get that tour, or they're going to get this.
I said something kind of like that recently to somebody who was having a bit of a breakdown. And I just said, get over it. And then I left the room. I was not very sympathetic to the need.
100% though.
100%.
Like my wife asks me all the time because, it's a female thing, no offense.
Wait a minute.
A female thing of
who thought it was going to be an offense? Just, no offense.
Of being, like holding on to things and like constantly dwelling on things that are upsetting her and stuff. And she always asks me like, I just don't understand how are you not like still thinking about this thing? How are you not upset about this, that? I was like, cause I just have too many things in front of me to focus on. I was like, that is already what it is. Why would I waste any of my energy being upset about something I can't change now when I could use that energy positively to make changes that way? And she's like, that's cool. I don't know how I can't do that. Like, but yeah, get over it. Like, doesn't mean it doesn't suck. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean it's not sad.
Screw you, robot.
Yeah, screw you, robot. I got things to do.
Let's wrap at that. If you can end a program with screw you, robot, you've done well in your day. Tyler, thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, thank you. This is
Tyler
awesome. Rich,
music everywhere. And we're going to follow you and hang out, and let's go have another beer.
Let's do it.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.